Welcome back to the Sportsman Untitled Euros edition. It's just me and Simon today, and we'll be going through England's dramatic 1-0 win over Serbia last night. Wasn't the greatest game, was it?
3 points is all that matters in group stages. Yeah. I mean, a little bit disappointing in terms of the second half, but also England have struggled at Euros to win the opening game. They've won the opening game yet again under Gareth Southgate, and now we're in a good position to progress from the group. So positives to be taken, definitely, and things to work on as well.
Just the one win before yesterday's game to start at Euros, which is obviously quite bizarre because England at World Cups seemingly just drag a result over the line, and that's how World Cups start for England. But yeah, 1-0 win over Serbia, you take it, don't you, at this stage? But there's countries that are trying to show off what they're about, and England probably are about a 1-0 win over Serbia. That's where we are right now.
I think we discussed it and we said it would probably be a narrow victory. I'm surprised they kept a clean sheet. I was very impressed with the defence. I think we marshalled what they had to offer quite well. I actually think Serbia might do all right in this group as well. I can see them getting something against Denmark. They could possibly beat Slovenia. They might end up coming second in the group. Hopefully we'll win it from this position. But yeah, a few things to work on in terms of kind of the fluidity attacking. The first 20 minutes, unbelievable.
It was scintillating.
I couldn't believe it. The movement, the passing. After that, it kind of got a bit stodgy, but we got over the line. And I also think we discussed how we were worried about the defence, and Gahey was unbelievable. And Trippier was solid enough, not spectacular.
He was very good, I thought.
Yeah. And this is the area we were worried about. So I don't mind the fact we had to defend quite deep for half an hour. It felt like it was another friendly game almost, in terms of us trying to get Saka up to speed. Bellingham hadn't played in the team for a while. I'm encouraged because I was worried about the start of the tournament, and I think we're only going to get better. It
was a good test. We'll move on to player ratings. We'll go through the team one by one.
Okay.
And we'll rank them out of 10. Obviously, we all know what player ratings are, so we'll just go through. And we'll start off with Jordan Pickford. I'm going to give him an 8.
An 8? I'll say 7. I think at times his kicking gave the ball away too much, but I also am aware of why he did that rather than put the defence under pressure in certain moments.
I don't think it's his fault because at club level he plays for a club where you just have to get rid of it. You've got tall people at the field, your defence isn't the quickest, you just have to keep kicking it as far as you can the second it arrives at your feet. And it wasn't given like loads of favours. Serbia pressed quite well. So
it doesn't happen when the striker's not winning any headers either. Like,
no. If
Kane was winning a few headers, then it wouldn't have looked so bad.
Yeah. Exactly. We'll move on to Kyle Walker, right back.
It's 7 again. I think that chance he had, it was a lovely move. His burst. I just think there was a decision to be made there in front of goal.
Got to shoot, hasn't he?
I thought he should have shot, but then you look at, was it Foden and Kane in the middle?
Neither
of them gambled, and you just look at that chance.
It was actually a really nice little slipped ball across the defence.
Yeah, and it didn't quite happen for him, but
solid.
We know what we get with Walker.
I like that Kyle Walker seems to care more about playing for England than he does for Manchester City.
Oh yeah, it's the way it should be.
It's great. Bin off your club. John Stones. I'd go less than Walker. He was the worst defender on the field.
Oh really? I actually disagree. I think he might have been the best defender on the field.
I think he looked ropey.
He won 4 out of his 4 aerial duels in the game.
Well, to be fair,
he was very solid in the air.
In the discussion in the game I was having at the time, I said at least he's winning the headers.
Yeah.
I thought he looked a bit shaky with the ball. I thought he looked a bit shaky, sort of close quarters defending when they were approaching the box. But I thought Gay excelled at that.
Yes.
But Stones wasn't losing headers. And when you don't have Maguire, you just need the aerial presence. That's the only threat that England have when Maguire's not there. So I think he marshalled the air quite well.
Should we go 7? Let's give him a 7.
Yeah, 7 will do.
Yeah,
7 will do. Gay?
I think let's give Gay an 8 because of the situation he found himself in.
Yeah, first major game.
He wasn't as good in the air as Stones was, but
I feel on the ball he was better than Stones.
He was better than Stones on the ball. He made a few good tackles and interceptions and moved the ball forward. But most importantly, he was really solid defensively. We didn't miss Maguire in this game, which is the best thing you can say about Gay. I'm really happy with the way he's performed, and I'm bit more hopeful. When Shaw comes in, we might have a bit more balance in the defence, but I'm happy with the centre-back partnership as it stands.
Is this the hardest game for those two centre-backs in the group? I feel like it is. Because those two strikers, no one in the world has Mitrovic and Vlahovic just starting for them. There's two really good strikers.
And then Tadic coming off the bench fresh. Off the bench. Like, it's difficult.
Jovic as well, he's not great, but he's still a backup at a big club.
It's a weird one to say when you think maybe Serbia are the weakest team in the group, but they've arguably got one of the most difficult attacks to deal with.
Yeah.
And you know what you're going to get. Our defenders aren't massive. I feel like they'll have better luck against Denmark and even Slovenia, you would hope, moving forward. So, yeah, I think very difficult game, and I'm really glad we got through it with a clean sheet.
Exactly, very impressive. So we're going for an 8 for Gay?
Yes.
Happy days. Trippier left back?
I'll go 6.5, maybe 7.
I'll go 7. I feel a bit harsh there, because I feel like defensively there's a specific moment where Serbia looked like they were about to get the chance that might have put them back in the game, and they squared it across the keeper.
Yes,
and he's just nice and calm, and he's right-footed, so he has to take it at an awkward angle, and he did it just with absolute ease. Just nice and calm, cleared the ball well, found an England player rather than just clearing it.
You're right, actually. I agree with you. I remember a few of his defensive actions were very good. It's just when he's having to offer the width on the left.
It's just the right-footed left back.
It just stops us him putting crosses in, but that's not his fault. No. And I think he did the job that we want him to do at left back.
If he could keep doing that until Shaw is fit, and I'm sure he understands the situation, he knows he's not the starting left back or the starting right back. But he knows he has a role to play, and that role is absolutely fine.
He might be the starting left back in a latter stage game.
He might
left back if Shaw isn't at 100%, and we just have him for the first hour.
You don't want to overuse Shaw. Yeah. So if you've 2-0 up, bring a bit of trips on, take a set piece. Happy days. Right, we're moving to midfield. Declan Rice.
He was really good, I think. And I know he was limited in his attacking actions, but he was sitting at the base of midfield. He won a few aerial duels as well, which is important. 7.5 for me, I reckon.
I think he proved he can play that pivot on his own.
Yes.
And that is exactly what you needed, because the only worry with England was, can he be the only holding midfielder? Because if not, you have to play Wharton, and he's so young, and it's such a risk. I mean, I think Wharton will get a chance anyway, he absolutely should, but Rice proving he can do it on his own is such a good hit for the team. And I'd be 7.5 probably feels about right for Rice.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Maybe gets forward a bit more in other games where there's a bit more attacking impetus, but that second half is a bit...
He's very important for England.
He's strange, but we'll keep moving on. Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I struggled with Trent's performance in terms of... I didn't know if he was really good, or... I think he was really good at times and really poor at times. Yeah. Obviously, there was the error on the edge of the box where he gave the ball away that Mitrovic had the shot at. He did that brilliant ball to the left wing for Foden. He won the ball back a few times in midfield, which was good. A difficult game for him in terms of Serbia... their physicality, their size. He did okay to the point where I'd give him another go in midfield potentially.
I don't think you saw. I think Jamie O'Hara on TalkSport talking about he's never going to play there again. No. It wasn't that bad.
No.
Like he showed what he offers. Like I think he probably should have done better with set pieces. But he gets like a shot in about the 55th minute or something. Just stings the palm of the keeper. It comes back out.
Yes, yeah, that was
it's
good.
It's dangerous. He's creating something, and no other England midfielder has that at the moment. Because Gallagher, Maino and Wharton aren't going to hit that shot. Rice might, but he's got more of a finesse effort where he's going to try and curl it. Trent's just going to hammer it. And
winning that game gives him another chance.
Yeah.
If we hadn't have won that game, he would have to probably be dropped. So I think he probably gets another chance.
Happy days.
Which is fun.
We'll see if that's in Denmark.
Should we say 7? I don't really know. 7, is that fair for Trent?
Yeah, I think it is. Just keeping everyone on the same level, I think 7's about right. Saka on the right.
He was great.
If you could give 2 ratings,
it would be a first half, second half.
First half probably like a 9,
yeah,
and then second half probably like a 5.
I think it was a player who had played a full game in quite a while. He only played 30 minutes of the last friendly. He clearly was struggling in the second half in terms of fitness. I think Bellingham dropped off a bit in the second half as well. Wasn't surprised he came off. Did very well in the first half.
Yeah, can't go wrong. So we're going with... Well, he's partially responsible for the goal, isn't he?
Yes, an assist, I think.
It deflected, but it's probably still an assist. So I'm happy with an 8.
An 8's good.
Bellingham, I mean, it's just the best player on the pitch.
It's got to be a 9.
By an absolute mile.
Got to be a 9, hasn't it?
Yeah, 9. They don't even need to discuss it.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Scored, carried the team. 9. Happy days. Foden.
I wish it was Gordon.
Foden, for me, I can't justify higher than a 6.
I'd go with
maybe
5.
Even 5.
Yeah,
he was just awful. The thing that summed up for me is we were on the counter attack, and obviously you just want to get that quick pass, keep it low, and all he has to do is find a very open Saka.
Was it Saka or was it the one to Gallagher he did as well? Do you remember that one?
Yeah. He just plays it like 5 yards behind him.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You've played this pass 100 times a game all season. What are you doing?
There's issues with Foden in this England team. He's a great player. I think if Shaw's playing, it will help him because he won't need to be so wide. In the first 20 minutes, he was all over the pitch and making things happen.
Was he? You can be all over the pitch, but you're not really doing much with the ball.
He needs to improve. There's a whole debate at the moment around England need to. The whole thing about England need to make it work. England need to get Foden in the team. He has to start. I think Foden needs to make it work for England.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll move on and we'll try someone else. Because
you see Bellingham enter a game like that, and he knows what the team needs. He knows to be running ahead of Kane, or you see like Bellingham. People were talking about how he wouldn't fit with Rice next to him.
Yeah.
He absolutely could.
Yeah.
Like, he showed yesterday that he can drop back and defend and get stuck in and muscle people. And Serbia are very, very physical, and he was making them look like they were getting bullied.
Foden has ability, obviously, but he's not done it on the left. He's not done it for England. And I think with Bellingham is that he's shown what you should do coming into a team.
Yeah.
He has won the right to play in that number 10 role because he's arguably the best player at the tournament.
Yeah.
Maybe, obviously Mbappe is brilliant as well. We have to make everything work around Bellingham.
Yeah.
And I don't think Foden does. Saka's a better right winger than Foden.
Yeah.
Bellingham's a better number 10 than Foden.
The question is there a better left winger than Foden
I think,
with England?
I think with Kane dropping deeper, I'd say Gordon's a better left winger. Obviously, he needs to chance as well. I think Foden's a great option to bring off the bench.
He really is. Because you can play all three.
Yeah.
So
depending on the side of the game, but I don't think he should be a guaranteed starter for England.
Yeah, I agree. That's what we're going with. Foden 5.
5. Let's go 5.
5, and then obviously Harry Kane up front. We'll do a bit of subs as well after that.
Go for 6, I think, for Kane.
Just not involved, and that's fine.
Yeah, he did have the header that Bowen set him up for, which was good.
Good from Bowen.
But he struggled physically with the aggression of the defenders.
He looks a bit rough.
So. How many times have we seen this at a tournament with Kane? Like, I remember the Euros, there was the same thing when he didn't score in the group stage.
And then he just turns it on.
So it's difficult in the case of you can't really take him off. Southgate probably can't take him off. I saw calls for maybe Tony or Watkins to come on. But if Serbia score and we've taken Harry Kane off, it's a nightmare. Well. So I think 6, he'll get better. Again, the front 4 haven't really played together too much. No. Yeah,
it's Kane as well. He was unlucky not to score, so we'll give him a pass. Moving on from that, we've got Conor Gallagher and Jared Bowen off the bench.
They both did well.
Gallagher surprised me because Gallagher's sort of just a runner that fills the gaps, but the game needed that.
Yeah,
and he filled the role quite well.
I think we needed some defensivity. I think he put in a couple of good challenges. I think he brought energy, and I think Bowen did the same thing on the right. And I think that's fine. I think they know they're not guaranteed starters, but I think they can both make an impact off the bench. I think Gallagher might be the glue that we need in midfield in terms of starting alongside Rice. You can't have 6 or 7 star players in a midfield and attack.
Yeah.
Someone's got to be the dog. Someone's got to do the dirty work. And Gallagher just gets about the pitch, puts tackles. He's a better Jordan Henderson.
Yeah.
And that might be what England need. And then you can let Bellingham go and play. You can let
the Matuidi next to Pogba.
Yeah, it's not sexy. Conor Gallagher's lovely hair, but he's not a sexy footballer, you know. And I think
some would disagree.
Yeah, I think he's a necessity if England want to get the best out of their key players.
He's a system player.
Yeah,
he will enable the better players. And surprisingly, he also featured in attack a little bit.
Yes, he did bursting forward. Yeah.
So I wouldn't be arguing if he started the next game. I'm happy with that. And then Jared Bowen. I think maybe I would have brought Palmer on instead of Bowen.
I think if you look at the success England had in the first half, it was Saka getting out that defender. Yeah. Palmer doesn't do what Saka or Bowen. He cuts in. We were already a bit sluggish in that area. I think with the Harry Kane chance, you saw why we put Bowen on. Yeah. He basically replaced Saka and did exactly what Saka did. I think I wasn't massively keen on Bowen being at the tournament. I think he proved in this game that if we need a similar Saka, he's probably that guy. And he also made a few good defensive contributions down that right side.
He's another grafter.
Yeah.
Another grafter.
We need more grafters and less, I don't know, flouncers, you know. Ooh. More hard work, more Jared Bowens, less Phil Fodens is what I mean.
What are you changing for the Denmark game? I have an 11 in front of me that I would be picking for the Denmark game. Would you like me to just tell you the changes? So the change would be, it's not Gallagher. Mm-hmm. I can see why you want Gallagher, but I'm going for a bit of control with the ball. I think there's a player that you're going to lose a little bit of work rate compared to Gallagher, but I think bit more quality on the ball, a bit more attacking flair. That's Kobbie Mainoo. I think if you put him next to Rice has proven he can be the single holding midfielder. Mainoo doesn't get as high up the pitch as Bellingham does, so you automatically sort of got like a 1-2 that can fluctuate around the pitch depending on where the ball is. And I'll just punch the microphone. Good going.
Well, you saw how we defended in a 4-3-3, really. It was Rice in the middle, Bellingham to the left, and Trent to the right in a central three, so that would work in that sense. I like Kobbie Mainoo. I just don't know how successful he'd be in an international tournament like this, but we've probably got to try him at some point.
Yeah, I think maybe Denmark's the game for that as well, where they're not as physical as Serbia.
Yes,
Serbia, were, by the 70th minute, they were just kicking lumps out of every counter-attack they saw, which is fair enough. That's how you should play England, because it works. And I feel like Denmark, they don't give you as much time on the ball, but they're not going to foul you. So Mainoo's sort of got the one-on-one skills to beat a man, find a pass to a winger or play it to the 10s who can then turn on the ball. He can make the run across.
It's an interesting debate with Trent as well, though, because he didn't do enough wrong to potentially be dropped.
No.
But then we're also in the situation where we need to prepare for potentially a knockout game against a bigger team.
Yeah.
So do we keep going with Trent and just be like, oh, he'll be fine? Or do we actually play players who are more likely to start in that team, which is why I would probably go Gallagher over Mainoo, because I see Denmark as the toughest test in this group and a team we can play, the team we would play in a knockout game against. I don't know if Mainoo would start in a knockout game, but if he's given a chance and he impresses, then he probably would. So.
Room for Wharton?
Probably not.
Do you think it's just international tournament too early?
Yeah, potentially. I think if Rice gets injured, he's straight in.
Oh yeah, he's that direct replacement.
So I think we just go with Rice, and then
maybe game 3. If you beat Denmark comfortably, then give him the game instead of Rice. Give Rice a rest.
Yeah, so, I agree with that.
Happy days. And then the only other change from the team is Gordon in place of Foden. It's quite an easy change, isn't it? You want the direct run-in of Gordon. He's clearly G'd himself up for this tournament. You saw it with the Gary Neville overlap interview where he goes into depth about how much this international tournament would mean to play in. And I feel like he sees himself as a bit like Wayne Rooney, where it's his space to shine. Yeah. There is someone that's taking that mantle a bit more than he will. But I think it's a perfect opportunity. Denmark, defence is a good defence, but they
do play a back three as well.
A back three that can be sluggish. Kasper Schmeichel, he's getting on a bit. So if you've got someone like Gordon that can press that side, was Kasper Schmeichel like 40 now? Like he's not going to be as quick as he was.
Well, I think England's success came against the wings against Serbia, and I think they played a back three. And if we had two wingers high and wide rather than just Saka and then Foden in the other space, I think that would have worked better.
Good balance.
I think balance is the key word with this team now. Yeah. I feel like we've got some balance to the back four that we have to play.
Astonishing.
Rice, Bellingham, Kane, you can all see what they do, but it seems like Trent Alexander-Arnold and Phil Foden, we're forcing them into a team that doesn't quite work at this moment in time. Maybe we should just play our round pegs, round holes, see how they get on, and have those players to come off the bench if we need to. I don't think we need to force the big names into the starting 11 because it's a very long tournament and there's nothing wrong with people being on the bench and coming off the bench to help. I'm not saying they should never play, but there's a time and a place for them. So I think this is where I think Gordon would be great, because you could get an hour, 70 minutes out of Anthony Gordon, full on running at our defence.
Yeah. And then the last thing that defender's going to want to see is Phil Foden cutting inside and then cutting back outside and then cutting back inside. Or Eze. Or even Kane dropping into a wide berth if maybe Watkins comes on.
I think the Kane point is a good one as well, because he was clearly told to stay up front against Serbia and get out of the way of Foden and Bellingham and Trent. They were all in the same space, we know that. Whereas if you have Gordon and Saka high and wide, Kane can then come in and try and get the passes in behind. Okay. So I think we need to play proper wingers.
We do. Proper wingers. That's what we like to hear. Are England through this group already? 3 points. The other game was a draw.
It's a great day. It was a great day in terms of results. Couldn't have gone any better. I don't think we're through yet. We need to win the group. We have to win the group. Otherwise, we'd probably play Germany in the last 16.
Yeah.
A draw against Denmark wouldn't be the worst result now, which is good in terms of getting licence to move forward.
Yeah.
Slovenia actually impressed me a lot.
So
their last game could be a bit of a slip up. But I also think Serbia were
just
impressive.
A tough team.
Like, they're probably going to cause problems against Slovenia and Denmark. We're not through already, no. But we're in a great position now. If we beat Denmark, 6 points, we will be through.
Yeah.
And then we can mix things up for the last game. But let's not panic if we don't beat Denmark.
No, it's good to have a bit of jeopardy. That's what we like to see. Yeah. And then we'll go through Denmark's sort of danger men, people to watch out for. You saw in that game against Slovenia, it was very much for Slovenia, it was Sesko-based attacking. Everything sort of goes through him. And you can see why. The fact that he had 2 shots, and I got more excited for both of those shots than any goal I've seen so far this tournament, says a lot. Yeah. He just picks up the ball and he's already hit it by the time it's at his feet, and it's already sort of past the keeper, and you're hoping it doesn't go in if you support that team. But he was tremendous to watch. Denmark-wise, Højlund didn't seem massively in the game, but I also feel like the defence sort of latched onto him as like, well, if you're going to play, go through Jonas Vind and sort of make a slower, taller player run and make the smaller player try and hold the ball up. And
he'll benefit more against the high line if England do play kind of a bit higher. Yeah. Then I think Højlund could cause problems. Space. Ericsson, obviously the danger man, creating chances in midfield. I thought his goal was brilliant. The move, the throw, like I just thought it was. He's too good to be sat on Man United's bench. He's got to get a move. He is still brilliant. Obviously a great story as well, coming back from what happened at the last Euros to score this goal. Yeah. Højbjerg, obviously we know what he's about in the Premier League, crunching tackles in, and their back three, which we've already mentioned, is pretty solid. Yeah, if not spectacular. It's very good defenders from around Europe, so it's going to be a really good game. Yeah, it should be. It should just be an entertaining game, and hopefully a few goals in it for both teams. So. I'm hoping that we've got this first game out of the way. We've seen a few of the issues. We can move on from it. Most importantly, we won the game, so I don't think any of us can really complain. No, we're in such a good position now, and I think the Denmark game hopefully would suit us a bit more because it's very difficult to play against Serbia, and I think Denmark will also struggle to play against Serbia because they're tough. They're really tough. Delighted with the clean sheet, delighted with the 3 points, and looking forward to this Denmark game. Very much so. Finally, predictions for England-Denmark. I think we're going to get a bit of a goal fest, and I'm going to say 3-2 England. Wow. I'm going to say, I think Denmark score first. I think maybe even Denmark go 2-0 up inside 20 minutes. Something like, like a bit of a shock to the system. Yeah. I think maybe England grab one before half-time. Maybe like a captain's penalty, something like that. And then the second half, I can just see wear down a team like Denmark. As much as they've got the quality, it's sort of, when England are running at you for 90 straight minutes, it's going to be difficult for you to sustain attacks and just keep possession for as long as you can. Weirdly, I'd be more worried by a 3-2 win than a 1-0 win because I don't want to see us concede twice. I think the defenders need to keep this confidence that hopefully they've got from this first game. Yeah. I'll try and be confident and positive. I'll go for a 2-0 win. I think we weren't exceptional in that opening game against Serbia, but we were solid at the back. I'm hoping we can do the same sort of thing. If we'd have taken another one of those chances, though, like if Walker had got his shot away or got his pass right, if Kane's header had gone in, we'd be maybe a bit more positive than we are being right now. That's it. If this was a club game for your club and you won 1-0, you'd be like, take it. Happy days. You don't play the best all the time. I do think we're going to grow into this tournament. I'll be interested to see the team. I think Foden and Trent, I think it'll probably be unchanged. Probably. Because we won the game and they want to be given more time to gel. But maybe subs off the bench like Mainu and Gordon. That's it. Pull the trigger a bit quicker. Yeah. Like hour mark, if things aren't quite going our way, then make some changes to win the game. Kane's going to score. And Jude. 2-0 England, and we'll be into the knockout stages and all will be well with the world. Love that. Well, thank you very much for joining us for the latest edition of the Sportsman Untitled Euros show. Bit of a shorter one, but we should be back at the end of the week after England's decimating victory over Denmark. Now, we're not going to predict too much, but I mean we just have. Well, we have predicted. Come on, boys. We're not going to jump the gun, but thanks for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if you don't like us, get in the comments below.